Hey,
What's
not
up,
even
guys?
ready.
How
I
we
had 7
doing?
seconds left, man. Happy Tuesday, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
We know it's not Monday. Eli had poopy pants.
I know. I did. I had some dental stuff going on. I still kind
It
of.
was your birthday. You had poopy pants.
Yeah, so
We had to,
I'm on some meds and some alcohol right now. So
Eli's on.
we'll see what happens.
On codeine,
Yeah, hydrocodone.
like 9 of them,
Yeah.
and some whiskey. Should be a good podcast.
Yeah.
Great session today. Sorry we missed you guys on Monday. Again, Eli had some medical issues.
Poopy pants, as we'll put
Oh
it.
God, dude. Listen, man, I don't envy you. That kind of stuff is brutal. So I don't envy
all
you one
good.
bit. I'm glad
It's all
but
good.
listen, man,
It's all
I'm glad you made it out. I'm glad you're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is not fun. I don't, especially toothaches, man. Those can be the worst.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're so close to the brain, proximity wise.
Dude, they are.
Just fuck you up.
It does, man. I was going crazy, man. I was
Yeah.
taking my clothes off and going. It was not fun, man.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
So when you were taking your clothes off, what were you wearing?
Nothing. I was losing my mind. I just had to take everything off. I know. I was freaking out. But
We're
all
closet
good.
sluts. You guys be ready for that shit.
Closet. Who's in the closet, man?
Well, I'm only in the closet because I'm shy. Good podcast today, man. This is episode 37.
Yes, sir.
This is something that I've been thinking about for a while. But it's just, and I believe it or not, as much as I talk, I pay attention and I watch and I just, I see what people are up to, man, and what they're doing and what they're not doing. And, even like new people that are in my life through social media, through business. Man, I love just paying attention.
Observing.
Yep. Which brings us to our topic. So if you're listening, I want to get right at it. That way you guys understand what this is. And if it's for you, great. If it's not, you're probably tuning out by now. I get it. Fuck off. Serial quitters, right? Or as you call serial starters. In addition to that, just being comfortable. I want to talk about that. My context for this when I was talking to Eli, so just so everyone has similar context here, I said, Eli, hey, man, you know those guys that are like successful, or guys and gals that are successful where they're maybe at like a, high beginner, intermediate level. They're paying their bills and they're financially doing okay. And they're above average per se or above the norm. So, they're in this area where, they could start some things. They could elevate their business, but they don't necessarily have to because they're comfortable or it's acceptable with where they're at, right? Like, for example, like in real estate, believe it or not, if you hit 12, if you do 12 deals in 1 year, you are at the entry level of the top 20%. So if you market that you're top 20%, one might think like, oh man, like you're getting after it. So people are encouraging in there. When you post something, they're encouraging about it and they say, oh man, you're doing so awesome and good for you, right? And you're getting that dopamine release by people being encouraging to you. But like deep down inside, right? Like, you could be doing better. You could be doing more. So you get on podcasts, probably podcasts a lot bigger than this one with more important people, right? And you get super motivated and you listen to the Jockos. You listen to the Andy Frisellas, and those are all good dudes, man. I'm not faulting these guys for this stuff. They're putting out good products. And then you get all motivated and you say like, oh, I'm going to start this, or you start posting about it. I see it.
And by that, you mean
like on social
Jocko's
media.
4:30 a.m. watch photo.
Not only Jocko's 4:30.
Andy 75
Let's
hard.
go more specific, right?
Yeah.
And if you think, and listen, if anyone's listening to this and you think I'm talking about you, I am.
You probably are.
Because if you're posting a 4:30 black and white Jocko photo with hashtag Jocko all over it, hey, that motherfucker does that every day.
Yep.
You start a project like that, you're in it. That is it, man. There's no going back on that. There is no like, I do that once or twice just because it was fun. Oh, no, I'm still doing it, but I'm just not posting about it. No, then you wouldn't post about it at all. Jocko posts that deliberately on purpose to show you just what he's all about every single fucking day. Watch him on Thanksgiving. That bitch will be up at 4:30. Okay, like that's so when you're taking on that image, you need to understand the weight of your decision and what you're putting yourself into. The Andy Frisella, right? Great podcast. Kind of bitches at people and calls them out. I like it. He's got some productive stuff to say, but he's similar in the fact of like sometimes just calling people out, man. And this isn't a call out. This is a call out mixed with let's find the root cause of it, right? So it's going to be a little bit of calling out, not in a non-productive way, but trying to help, instead of just bitching, just trying to help people source, like, hey, if that does sound like you, it's all good. Everyone needs a check here and there, right? I need checks myself here and there, right? Like, and I get them. So, the Andy Frisella thing is at 75 hard. So he's got a challenge where you go 75 days of sticking and adhering to a meal plan, drinking a gallon of water a day, and then you work out twice a day for like 45 minutes. One of those workouts has to be outside. Mm-hmm. So playing basketball with your kid, going for a jog, regardless of weather, it's got to be out there. Mm-hmm. Now, that one is not, mandatory that you post on social media. Jocko does his. It's not a challenge. Jocko just posts his shit every day. So if you're taking on what Jocko's doing, then that's you saying you're going to do it every day. Understand that. And if you don't think it correlates, my friend, you need to put more weight behind your actions, because if you're going to take something on, then you have to reciprocate what people are doing, especially when you're black and whiting it and you're hashtagging that person. Yeah, you're taking that on, and understand that. So the 75 hard thing, no, it's not mandatory that you post social media or anything like that. However, if you go out of your way to then post what day you're on or whatever it may be in 75 hard, and you take initiative to start posting on it, that's what you're doing. Like, so if your rebuttal is, oh, no, I'm still doing it, I'm just not posting about it, you're full of shit. And you're full of shit because you took the initiative to start posting on it, and all of a sudden you're not. Listen, not okay. All good. What I'm getting at is just putting the weight behind your actions, taking it a little bit more serious that people are watching, right? Maybe coworkers, maybe people that are interested in working with you. Maybe you want to work with them and they're paying attention to see if you take yourself serious, right? But the bottom line is, with some of these, and these are just a couple of examples. The Jocko shit, the NFL, these are two of probably 25 examples I could spit out right now. They're just the most popular as far as the people I'm comparing it to. So I want to stick to that, and I don't want to get too stuck in the weeds. You get what I'm saying with these examples. But in addition to just talking trash or calling you out, all good, I want to talk about the source of that, right? Like, why? Why are you starting something and quitting? Like, why are you getting so jazzed up to start something that you start posting about it and then you just quit? And then here's what's even worse, dude. Your sphere. So I look at people's posts, man, and I look at the comments and stuff, and people are so encouraging. Oh, man, that's so cool. And right on. Fucking hard charger, man. 75 hard. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. Not one word when someone stops. Yep. So my whole thing today is, again, sourcing, like, hey, what's making you so comfortable? Part of my opinion is you're successful enough to where people throw you some gratitude and encouragement because you're successful enough. Deep down inside, like, you want more, but you're not motivated to go get more. But you get that dopamine dump when you listen to someone's podcast or YouTube video. Yep. So you start posting about it and then you quit. You just don't have, like, you don't have enough grit. Like, when they say, like, the guy climbing the mountain is always more hungry than the guy on top of the mountain. I don't necessarily agree with that. But I think for the sake of this podcast, guys that have been through some shit or going through some shit, like, when you're in that fight or flight phase, like, that's where some of your grit comes from. And then when you're on top, you just got to find a way to, like, make sure that how you feel about that and the perspective of that never goes away. My other opinion, before you cut me, my other thing here that I want, in full disclosure, Eli and I don't script all these things out. We have a thought process on podcasts, and sometimes we disagree, and all good. It's healthy. My other synopsis, and this is pissing me off, man. And I was talking to a buddy over the weekend. He, apparently I took his comment the wrong way on social media, and I called him out. He's a super cool guy. If you're watching, Gary, what's up, dude? I love you. My other synopsis is guys being too soft, and more importantly, guys being too soft on each other. Okay. In my network, like, if I start something like that, if I start let's just use Jocko shit. I'm not saying that that's the sole thing of this whole podcast. I'm not saying it's the only thing I've seen. If that's whatever. But let's use that for example. If I start doing that, okay, dude, I have a handful of people already watching my shit, okay, which puts some weight behind what I'm doing, man, because I know if there's even one morning that I don't do it, hey, dude, I'm getting fucking called out. Hey, doggy, where's your shit? Where's your Jocko shit? Hey, are you sucking Jocko's dick today? Oh, did you stop? Oh, interesting. Dude, they're going to call me out, you know, and then this goes one layer further. If I'm shitty in business, if I'm making just terrible decisions and I'm getting off the rails, there are men in my life, dude, that will call me out. What I'm seeing, forgive me, this is my lane. This is just what I see. I'm not saying that this is at scale. I think it is. I can't say it is, but I fucking think it is, okay? But these are the patterns that I'm seeing. Like, you have these guys that have decent careers, okay, and they're successful enough, okay, and they're patting each other on the fucking fanny, dude. Like, they're just, hey, right on, brother. Hey, great job, brother. Hey, you know, right? But there actually hasn't been any grit or effort behind anything that you've earned, but people are giving you that reward through social platforms and encouraging you and calling you brother. Hey, do me a favor. Shut the fuck up, right? Like, first and foremost, put some weight behind your actions. If you're the one that's putting that out there, right? Put some weight behind your actions. Take yourself seriously enough that if you're going to put that out there, then for no one else but other than you, fucking be good to your word. If you want to be Jocko, fucking cowboy up. Knock that shit out. Forever. If you're going to do a 75 hard and talk about it, finish it, man. Like, people are going to learn from your process. If you want to lead from the front, okay, and you want to take it upon yourself to put that out there and that you started it, fucking finish it, dude. Right? And you started it publicly. Don't tell me you're finishing it in private.
That's what I was about to say.
Fuck that. Fuck that. That's an excuse, man. Yeah. You started it publicly. There's no reason why you're intermittent and you're in the struggle of it and completing it. You should finish publicly. And if you quit, motherfucker, quit publicly. Call your shit and say, you know what? I wasn't mentally prepared. I bit off more than I can chew. I got some poopy pants right now. I'll be back. And when you get back, you better fucking finish. But then just fail in public.
Yep.
Don't give me that crap that you're starting something in public for 2 days or for 12 days, right? And all of a sudden, like, you're in fucking
you just didn't feel like posting or something.
I'm in stealth bomb phase. This is for me, bro. Shut your mouth. And dude, guys are making it okay. Guys are not calling each other out, but we're friends. Or even worse, we call each other brother. Brother. Good job, brother. You're either talking like you're fucking Hulk Hogan and you're in some fantasy land, or you haven't put the weight behind that word and you haven't fucking earned that word, brother. Because if that's the word you're going to use, you're either theatrics, okay, Hulk Hogan, or, hey, man, that's your brother. Good. Call him out. Do it with him, whatever you got to do. But you guys should be holding each other accountable and then either do that competition with him or go, hey, bro, get that done. What are you doing? I didn't see you today. Get your ass up and get that done. You started it, finish it. Or if you're not going to finish it and you're going to quit it publicly like you started it. I got such a problem with that, man. And dude, we're putting an image behind what it looks like to be a man, right? You got a beard. Maybe you drive a truck, you know, like, I don't know, you wear some boots, Carhartt. I don't fucking know. I'm shooting from the hip here being sarcastic. But we are, man. We are starting to put this image, like the beard trend. I'm not for it or against it. It's all good, man. Do your thing. I'm not against it. I'm against it when you're taking on an image, right? And then like the 75.
In hopes that it'll make you something that you're not.
And the 75 hard stuff and the going to church. I said I was going to leave that one out today. Fuck that. Going to church, like, and just giving this appearance, right? The smoke and mirrors that are like, I'm this God-fearing person that just takes on all these challenges. Like, you're full of shit, man. You're hiding behind something.
Most people are.
But you're putting yourself out there like you're a leader in your community. But I'm watching you quit. I see you. Beardless and churchless. I fucking see you.
Well, let's...
Right? And I got a problem. Man, like, let me rephrase. I don't have a problem with it, but to an extent. Because I think the majority of these guys are doing what they think is the right thing to do. And when in reality, hey, man, shouldering leadership and shouldering being a pinnacle person in your community and leading by example, there's a lot more to that than you think. And it's not just you running your mouth and then quitting something and then thinking that no one sees that. No, hey, real dudes that aren't talking to you see it. And I want nothing to do with you because it's all smoke and mirrors, man. You are just as full of shit as anyone else, but it's hidden behind this kind portrayance of like the guy that, like, you know, is good to women and gets doors for women and goes to church and combs my beard and drinks pale ales and cuffs my jeans and wears my Doc Martens. Fuck, man. No, not true, man. And like, I have dude, I have such a problem. And again, I'm being funny about the image. That's not the only image. So don't get your fucking panties in a bunch. What I am getting at is just putting this image on what it looks like or what we think it's supposed to look like to be a man, and then putting an image between saying what I think I'm supposed to say that makes me a good man, and starting these challenges to like better myself because it sounds so attractive to better myself. Oh, but actually doing it. Oh, motherfucker.
Well, let's dive into it. So
Right?
let's break this down a little bit. So we got two major points here. So that's why people start these challenges and these goals in the first place, right? Let's dive into that a little bit. So first of all, with all these, obviously, social media, people are putting challenges and goals out all the time. And then every new documentary that comes out on Netflix, like Game Changers, that, exposes some things or some ideas about being vegan or not eating meat, right? That's when you tend to see a lot of these people come out. And since we're talking about like kind of Jocko and Andy today and like the 75 hard thing, we can talk about that. Why do you think that people are so quick to start these things like that and be bandwagon jumpers and jump on this thing and make that so public to begin with?
It feels good, right? And again, like you're hiding behind being good enough. If you're good enough at your career, if you're good enough at being a dad, if you're good enough at some certain things, people are like, man, that's a solid guy. Like he's locked on. And it's the biggest disguise. And here's my thing. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not even here to tell you that you should get better. What I'm getting at is when you take that initiative to put that out there in the universe and let assholes like me see that, be ready, man. Like put weight behind that. I also think it's popular. There's podcasts, compared to blogs, no, very little. But there's still podcasts are coming out of the woodwork, man. Social media and people doing their own videos and giving their opinion. Like it looks fancy, dude. It's smoke and mirrors. But again, like remember that study we were talking about? I can't quote the study on, so I'm not going to quote it here.
Yep.
About the marathon study about people talking about them doing a marathon prior to the marathon literally released just as much dopamine in their fucking brain as someone who finished it.
Yep. Which caused them to not do the marathon.
So let me break this down for your assholes, right? Like you're eating your cake before your birthday kind of thing. Like you're putting the cart in front of the horse. Like you've gotten your dopamine, you've gotten your reward from the recognition of people thinking that it's awesome that you're going to go do that, and you've gotten so much gratitude from it, like you don't even have to do it anymore. Matter of fact, you don't do it. The study was showing people weren't doing it.
They weren't.
But you were getting the same amount of dopamine release as someone that finished. But here's what that study doesn't talk about. That fucking aftertaste, right? Now, that aftertaste either hits you or it doesn't, right? And it's not going to hit you if your sphere...
The aftertaste is in...
Your thoughts, man. So, like, for example, the marathon. I talk about it, get all this recognition, and people think I'm so cool. Oh, great, that's so exciting for you. And then I don't do it.
Yep.
Right? I have to live with that. Now, if I'm able to quit a marathon because everyone gave me so much encouragement, I don't have to do it anymore. Clearly, outside influencers is what's motivating me for that stupid marathon in the first place. Correct?
Right.
So that means outside influence is important. Now, I don't run it. And my outside influence doesn't check me. They don't ask me about my marathon. They don't say why you quit. They don't kind of check me. They're just supportive and passive and don't even mention it that I didn't. Well, guess what? I bet I sleep okay at night. I don't have an aftertaste because my aftertaste is predicated upon my outside influence, not who I am as a person. And hey, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, whether it's good or not, whether I have to walk half that marathon or I get injured and and it takes me 4 days to finish it, whatever it is. Oh, I don't want to show that. Right. But if it's within me to be good to my word and to go through an experience for me because it's going to help me grow, I'm not going to get overly excited about outside encouragement, nor am I going to allow that dictate whether I do it or not, right? So I think there's something there, man. I think people, dude, we said this shit in high school. Oh, no disrespect to you. You weren't an athlete, but I'm sure you can relate to this. My pet peeve in high school, when you're kind of figuring out who you are and just like things that bother you don't bother you, if we lost a game, right? And like, let's say for the sake of this conversation, it's an away game. And I'm going to give a personal experience. I'm not going to mention any names. Can't remember the names. Coming home, like we lost to Regis, right? Motherfuckers. We lost. Dude.
Is this football or what?
Baseball. And dude, we shouldn't have beat him in the first place. We're in this game, bro. We're winning 2-0, right? I smashed a 2-run home run.
Okay.
And I'm pitching that game. And dude, the entire team was coming together, man. We're playing good. And like we end up losing And what pissed me off on the way home, there was a couple guys that were just shooting the shit,
like all good,
smoking and joking on the bus on the way home, like we didn't fucking lose. The same guys were the same guys that like laughed and joked around when we lost by fucking 10 runs.
Yep.
Right? Like, clearly you're here to wear the jersey so you can try to get some pussy at homecoming.
Yep.
I fucking got you tagged, bro. Like, you're not here to benefit yourself and be a better athlete. You're not here to benefit other people around you that are on this team with you. You're here because it's popular. Mm-hmm. So it's at least you had to try out for the team back then. Now with social media and whatever you want to do, man, you can take on whatever image you want, right?
Yeah.
And you can have this like feel good and you can talk a good game because most people aren't watching to see if you fail. And I'm not a pessimist, man. Mm-hmm. I want people to win, but like if you've had a conversation with me, you're on my radar. I'm watching your shit, man. And like when you quit, I see it, and I feel like, hey, man, you're no different than the guy wearing the jersey that's just there to get some pussy, man. Like, you're not in it to grow. You're not in it to be a better athlete. You're not in it to be a better person. You're not in it for your fellow athletes on the team, man, right? Like, this is about you and wearing that fucking fancy jersey and getting pussy at homecoming, right? Yep. And you could fall off that bus and it wouldn't fucking bother me, right? Like, and I feel like social media has put those type of people at scale. And again, dude, like, it's hidden behind smoke and mirrors. It's not the obvious. It's these people, man, that are like successful enough. Hey, man, I'm a homeowner. I have a house and I've got a family and I go to church and I look like I'm doing everything right. Oh, I'm gonna try this challenge. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. Like, hey, I'm not against church. Don't take this the wrong way. I don't like guys like that having no weight behind their words and watching them quit. But you took it upon yourself to be a leader in your community, to be a leader to your sphere on social media and talk about what you're doing. Yeah. And you put it out there and then there's no follow through. Yeah. I don't like it, man.
Well, one thing I think people need to be super aware of is the fact that, like, I'm just aware that, hey, when you put something out there publicly and, people start saying kind words to you and motivating you, it's going to take away from that shit. That's why I personally just don't like necessarily putting my goals out there. If there is something I'm trying to accomplish, I'm generally not posting about it because I don't want that to be a distraction.
But I would be equally upset at you if I knew your goals and you quit on yourself. Like, this is not a social media thing. This is the only reason I know you even have these goals, these people I'm talking about, is because you put it on social media. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't know your shit. I wouldn't be talking about you. So just to be clear, right, this is not even just a social media thing. It's just that I don't know your thoughts in your head, right? But I'm the same way. Like, hey, if you're going to, even if just telling yourself in your own head, I'm going to do this, and then you quit. I'm having the same conversation with you if I knew what was in your head than someone that's putting it out there on social media. I'm talking about putting weight behind your words, conversations you have with yourself. Now, the reason why it's one step further on social media is because you're portraying yourself as a leader in your community. So now you have people looking at you for further, looking at you for guidance or thinking that you're like, you got your shit together and you're running a tight ship, and it's not true. Yeah. That's where it's one step further, man. Like, you can quit on yourself all day. You start quitting on other people that are looking toward you. Yeah. Dude, it's in my core to be a leader, but it's hard, dude. It's hard as a motherfucker to be a adequate leader with the right intentions. People have no idea the level of sacrifice true leaders, whether it's in the military, civilian, you're getting a taste of it. I'm not your favorite person all the time, man. I get it. Trust me. I'm not my favorite person all the time, right? That's even allowed to say that. But even the short time you and I have been together, man, like, hey, being proficient leaders and where your thought process has to go and thinking how far ahead and being good to your word, like, dude, it's hard as fuck. And taking advantage of people and allowing them to follow you when your shit's not together, dude. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're putting those things out there, you have to have a serious conversation with yourself about why you're posting that, right? Are you posting that to motivate other people around you and show them what you're doing and help them be better people? Because if you are, you better post every single 75 days of 75 days hard, whatever the fuck it's called, right? You better post. If you start that, you have to see it all the way through. Don't post the 1 or 2 days and then say, oh, I just didn't post on these days. Nope. Don't work that way, right?
No. And let's be clear about that. Listen, you're putting that out there. And look, in police work, we call this a clue. Okay? If you're going to take the same type of photo with your watch and it's black and white, okay, and hashtagging the person, listen, that guy does that every day.
Yep.
So when you start talking about how you're changing your life or the changes you're going to make inside the text of that, and you do it twice,
Yeah.
come on, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, don't say, "Oh no, I'm still doing it. I'm just not putting it out there." No, the context of those posts and the originator of that post does do that. There is no like doing everything the same. Like, dude, you can't just steal Chevy's logos and put Chevy all over your car and Chevy all over your wheels and all this stuff, but you're like, "Oh no, it's got a Ford transmission. It's a Ford." No, it's
different,
no. I'm gonna
right.
smack your fucking face right now.
Yeah.
Don't get stuck in schematics. And if you're having that conversation with yourself right now, excuses, protect your thoughts, have some self accountability, man. Like, don't get stuck in schematics, right?
Yep.
Like, don't fucking do that.
Yep,
Not okay. Protect your thoughts. Hold yourself accountable. These are big, man. But so my first thing is, I think guys that are successful enough, these are the fucking dudes that I talk about that live in quiet despair. They have their marriage, okay, and their fucking pets, and they go to church, and hey, and I'm dude, almost like they're telling themselves with a question mark. You know what I mean? Or just like the quiet despair, man. Like I'm doing the right things, and I'm going to church, and I'm gonna try this challenge. I'm gonna try this challenge. Like, and it's almost like they're trying to convince themselves that they're living the right type of life.
100%.
Okay, like so you're putting that out there, trying to convince yourself that these are the right things to do, when in reality, maybe you're a fucking fire inside. Maybe you have quit some things. Maybe you are tired of being a quitter. Maybe you're not happy in your marriage. Maybe you don't like church. I don't know. Church isn't the problem. However, a handful of people I'm looking at online, I see it. I see the church pattern with starting a challenge pattern with just certain things, man. But then, like, I'm watching what you're doing. I'm watching you quit. And some of you, I fucking know you. Uh-oh. Oh, some of us know you behind the curtain. That ain't you.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm all good with people changing. I'm not saying people can't change. I've grown a ton. Right. However, not if you're still doing the same shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, hey, what act are you putting on? Or who are you trying to convince? And if it's yourself that you're trying to convince, all good. I get it. I've been through transition. I get it. It's not putting it out there and pretending to be a leader in your community on social media. That is not where it starts, man. These are conversations that should start with yourself. And if you still have some convincing to do with yourself, keep it there. Work that shit out.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? I got an idea. Do the 75 hard challenge and shut.
Yeah.
Maybe do that. Maybe don't put it on social media. Maybe like, hey, man, I'm still convincing myself of who I am and who I want to be. And like, should I say those things? No. You should just do the challenge for what it's intended for. Andy Frisell isn't hit, like, part of his intention is to put you under some scrutiny and not care what the weather is, to get your ass out there. Look, some of us have had that through our experiences in the military or government work or police work, or where we grew up and we grew up in the hood, whatever it is. Some of us have kind of gone through that. For guys that haven't, it's specifically for you. Shut your mouth. Do that 75 hard challenge. Don't even tell anyone you're doing it. Do it for the first time. Do it for yourself, and then see how you come out on the other end. And then when you are convicted and you have some conviction of maybe who you want to be or how it benefited you,
Some sort of proof.
still don't get fancy though. Listen, just have a conversation and just document how it went. Like, if you don't even want to put it out there because you're not even convinced 75 hard is for you, or that transition's for you, or you don't even know who you are, but you got some figuring out to do. Cool. Listen, don't even put it on social media. Don't put it out to people in person. Keep it for you. And when you get through it and you start having some conviction with yourself, and you're a believer of what you're doing, then you can have a conversation and just talk about just document, maybe in a journal, whatever it may be, but just document what you're going through. And then when you're out on the other side and you're comfortable to speak and you're confident to speak, go back into what you wrote about and just talk about what you documented, right? But it's like, you know, like these people, right? Like, they make a job change. You see it all the time in our industry, right? Like in real estate. Someone goes to a different brokerage. Within 72 hours, I'm getting a phone call, if you know me, recruiting my monkey ass, and I'm watching social media posts about your new, and I'm like, hey, you don't know that company.
This
By
amazing
the way,
new company,
it ain't
new
the company.
opportunities.
The people in the company, that's what's going to make it what it is, correct?
Yeah.
But you're already like putting your stamp on it. And you know what that is? That's your own insecurity
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
your own insecurity of like, hey, I need to vouch for the decision I just did. Why?
Yep.
How about you don't know? How about go 90 days in that new company before you even have an opinion? Right? Like, why not? Why aren't you going through trials and tribulations and understanding it's okay to make a company switch, but not necessarily know where it's going to take me or if it's the right decision until I dive into it?
Well,
why not?
People just don't put any weight behind their words, nor do they understand the weight that their words carry, right? So they are constantly putting shit like that out there, and they're vouching for other companies and themselves, the people that they really have no experience with. And I mean, the same reason that they're the serial starters and serial quitters. They're just diving into things to get the initial feel-good dopamine dump, the support, the fake support from people, and that makes them feel good. And then that box is checked, and then they move on. And then, of course, after 3 days, waking up at 4:30 is hard as fuck. So they want to quit, right?
Dude, when you do something worth doing, you can sit at peace with yourself. You don't need any recognition, man.
But most people haven't. Most people,
well, they've never tasted that, right?
Yeah,
or like
most
some of
people-
my most special moments with like a Marine, just intimate, man. Just sharing a sleep shift. Hey, man, like I remember like one of my boys, Perry, dude, we got so tired. We got down to 20-minute naps.
Damn. Yep.
Because we could, and whoever's awake, you can only stay awake long enough to trust yourself to stay awake. And if you can't trust yourself to wake him up. Like, but just the trust that we had in each other, man. And then just, hey, bitch, get up, man. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
And then we'd stay up together for a bit and then he'd go to sleep. Like,
Yep.
But some of the most intimate, worthwhile moments, man, there was no publicity, there was no social media, there was nothing behind it, man. Like same thing like when I was a cop, right? Like some of the best gratitude I ever felt as far as like helping someone out. Hey man, they didn't even have the ability to get on a phone and go to their social media and blast me. And like, yeah, you see some stuff. There's some scrutiny in the police world. There's some bad ones. There's some good ones. They're showing both sides of it on social media. Not going to get into, right? I can't speak to it unless it was my call, right? There's more to it. However, there's a lot more that happens off camera. And if you help a kid or a parent out, like you don't think we did that on the street, man. You don't think we threw people favors. You don't think like we bought groceries for people, something, right? Like, of course, man. But some of these people don't even have cell phones or the ability to go onto a social media account to put me on blast. Yep. But I didn't do it for that. Right. Like, dude, I'm from, like, where I was a cop is where I was from. And maybe some of you that know me, I'm not even a cop style. I'm more of a renegade than anything. Yep. Being a cop was popular in my brain because it was where I grew up. Yeah. I had no desire to be a cop anywhere else, man. But when I came home and I'm trying to figure myself out, it seemed honorable. It seemed somewhat in trace of what I did through the Marine Corps and some government work, and some parts of it were, some parts of it weren't. So after 5 years of doing it, hey, man, ultimately, pros and cons, it was better to move away and start something different than to stay in that world, right? All good for my own reasons. Cool, man. So I grabbed my nuts and I bounced, man. Like, but what we did while we were there, I did do that for me, man. I did want to feel good about giving back to my community. And like, yeah, dude, not everything. I think the one time I ever got posted about was one random night, my partner and I went to Chick-fil-A, dude, and we spent a paycheck's worth on food. And we said hi to people at the drive-through window. We did it right by the Aurora Mall.
That's cool.
Not the best area of town where people might need that. And dude, we just did it for a certain amount of time, threw a certain amount of money at it, and someone snagged a picture, and I think it was maybe in the Aurora Sentinel. I don't know, and I don't care because that's not why we did it. Yep. But I do think, man, there's a lot of people out there that are very similar. And the folks that are out there attention seeking, just understand like these quits add up.
Yeah, they do.
And they're going to add up, and like it's not going to make you feel any better. So if you are comfortable or if you're successful enough, but you've got some despair inside and you want to go do more and you're not just like quite sure what to do, so you're not purposely putting stuff out there to be disappointing, but you're doing it, check yourself and just understand like, hey, there's something with me that I got to get into to make sure that I'm taking care of like all I can within myself before I put it out there. And here's my recommendation to you, man. Get your ass in the gym. Yeah. Okay, like get a good diet, just like 75 Hard talks about. Look, Andy Frisella owns a supplement company, First Form. Great company. But listen, he's been around fitness enough, man, to where even like when he didn't have to lose weight, he did. He lost over 100 pounds. because even as rich as he was and as successful as he was, dude, and he talks about it. He's like, man, I was this far overweight, but I'm running a supplement company, and I would go talk publicly. Not one fucking person called him out for being a fat fuck. But he called himself out. Like, holy shit, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm the owner of this, and it's this successful, and I'm so rich, but no one said a word about being a fat fuck. So he had to change himself, right? And he did that. And that's, I think, partly where 75 Hard kind of came from. And that should be proof in the pudding right there, especially if you guys are following 75 Hard and you've listened to the podcast behind it, the reasons behind it. He did that for a reason. This is for you, right? Like, and if you have that despair inside, you should be diving back into yourself, and you don't have to make it known for anyone, right? And just get your ass in the gym. Make sure that you're eating right, hydrate. Like, I promise you, if you're sleeping well and you're hydrating and you're getting to the gym, not checking the box, okay, Laffy Taffy. I'm talking about pushing that shit, right? Those 3 fundamentals, dude, to this fucking day, if for some reason my world's a little off, a little cattywampus, dude, it always
Chances
falls
are
back. One of those is off, man. Like, it's so important, dude. So again, you know, now that I'm done like on my soapbox here and I'm talking shit, if you're still listening, I'm not talking shit to attack you. I'm politely calling you out, saying, hey, you're probably doing these things and you don't even realize it because you're searching for something within yourself. So you're putting a ton of shit out there because you're putting your feelers out to get something back on it and to feel good about it. But it's short term and it's short lived. You got to really like get in there and get after it, man. And it's important. And if you protect your word, right? Like, does your word mean anything to you? Because for me, that's all I got is my word.
That's all anyone's got.
Well,
they just don't know it.
But you got to protect that. So those are my things. Those are my things. I don't want a tangent today.
Let's talk about the second part of that because really, I think this is the cure to all of it. Calling each other out.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, guys. If you're going to call people your brother, if you're going to support other men online.
Oh, you got me all jazzed up again.
If you're going to support other people online and, you know, guys that are in your sphere, in your community, part of what has made men successful in the past that I think we're really missing out on right now is holding each other accountable and calling each other out and say, hey, bitch, you posted this twice in a row. Where you at? And I know, like, for me, a big part of why I haven't done that in the past and why I, you know, haven't wanted to, so I'm assuming that's why a lot of other guys don't.
I know what you're going to say.
Is that you just don't want to be an asshole. And
or
you don't want to come off as negative. What?
The one thing you gave me today or yesterday when we were talking about this was sometimes people don't call people out because they're not doing it either.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't call the kettle black, right?
That's yeah. It's either you don't want to be an asshole or you're afraid someone's going to keep you accountable like that. So you don't want anyone saying that shit to you, right?
Yeah.
I really think us as men, you know, that's part of being a guy, razzing each other, giving each other some shit, right? However, we've kind of lost that because, again, you don't want to seem like a jerk or you don't want anyone to hold you accountable. That's just part of being a guy that I think has been really beneficial to us in the past, and we've gotten away from it. I think we need to see more of that.
Hey, man, you put something out there, it's on you, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and hey, I'm not calling you out to be a jerk. I'm a jerk if I don't say something. Because maybe I'm the one reminder that you got as a friend that's like, hey, dude, maybe take what you say a little bit more serious. Maybe protect your words. Maybe put weight behind your words. Maybe people will respect you. Hey, what do you think of yourself? Like, before we even talk about people respecting you, do you respect yourself?
Yeah.
Do you respect yourself enough that when you say you're going to do something, you fucking do it? Or do you have such low respect for yourself at this moment that you can not only say something, you can say it publicly and still quit and you'll still sleep good at night?
Yeah.
That would drive me fucking bananas, right?
Well, and dude, and it's even something simple as just before this podcast, we saw a friend and he had a video and it looked like he was a little puffy in the face, right? So what do? We make a phone call and we're like, someone that we know is going to be seen. We're like, hey, tell this dude he needs to get his ass in the gym and quit drinking so much alcohol. He's getting all puffy.
And our boy was like, yeah, dude, he likes to party, have some fun a little bit. He's not so much the worker out. And I'm like, hey, don't let him and I show up on stage in better shape than him, man. He better he better fix that shit.
But that's those little things, and that's part of being a guy that just, I don't know, man, we're missing it right now. Like, hey, bro, quit eating shit. You're getting fucking fat, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you posted this 430 picture twice. Where's your third one?
Where you at, bitch?
Yeah, where you at?
Yeah, man. And it just, again, like, but we say all the right things because I'm looking at social media. I'm looking at these men camps and iron sharpen iron, right? And you know, the thoughts of a lion doesn't matter about the opinions of a sheep. Like I'll be honest with you, we are saying some cool shit on social media. That
sounds way
dude,
cool.
them lion photos and fucking don't give a hell, dude, awesome. Until you see who posted it, and I'm like, hey, why don't you just get that tattooed on you? Oh, and then you do. Yeah. You got a big old lion and a Norseman on your arm. Great.
God,
listen. That's not it, man. Like you're literally tattooing the jersey on you, but you're not following through. And I'm not saying I haven't broke before. I haven't broke, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, maybe one day.
No, man. Listen, I don't. There's some close friends that I have. Right. Perry, Manny, Shantosh. Right. Shantosh is a beautiful. Listen, he's a beautiful person. And as you can see, he's like kind and he's open-minded for people, and he tries to be less opinionated and like, hey man, like your story is your story, and I can't, I don't know where you're coming from, and so right, he's so open. Listen to me. There's still some Marine Corps blood in that dude, and if I'm doing something that's completely off the Richter, or something as simplistic as not protecting my words, and I become this marketing scheme, right? Like. He's gonna, it'll be productive, but he's gonna go, hey, come here. Hey, come here. Let me introduce you to something. It's called CrossFit.
Yeah.
And he's gonna make me do up downs and bear crawls and fucking thrusters, man, until I puke, right? And then he's gonna say, hey, man, food for thought. Just protect what you say, right? Like he'd be super productive about it. But he would say it like I'm watching,
and that's the perfect blend right there, man.
Well, because he's kind.
Yeah,
he's an officer, and he's wise, man. I really appreciate who that guy is because it's just great to listen to. Now, I also got Mexican friends. Okay, I got Mexican gunslinger friends from the infantry, like Manny. Okay, like no, man, there's no chaser with him. Okay, like you're taking that shot to the dome, no chaser. Hey, and. For the record, hey, dude, I fucked up. I have made mistakes with things that I have said in my past in front of Manny, and I've heard about it. And it's like, hey, bro, I love you, so that never happens again. That shit's got to go, bro. What's the matter? And then it's like, hey, what's the matter with you? And then it's on me to be like, hey, and I go, fuck, man, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't normally talk like that. I don't normally say those things. Like, fuck, man, that's not me. Where's
so
that coming
healthy,
from?
though, dude. That's so
he listens
healthy.
to me. We talk about it, and then rest assured, hey, man, that's not going to happen again, right? Like, and then it's on me to make sure I don't. But, dude, getting checked like that, when he checked me, I was at one of the lowest points in my life, and I did do something out of character. And I did say some shit out of character that everyone took weird, and, because it's not me. Right. And I had to just go, hey, you know what? Not an excuse, but here's where I'm at. And then I have a conversation with Manny about it. And it's like, yeah, bro, maybe it is this, maybe it is that. But like, hey, here's what you got to be. And like, I got forgiveness for it. Right. And then, dude, it was on me to make sure like I stayed the course. Right. But my friendship never went anywhere. He never treated me any different. It's all good. Yeah. But it's all good. But I better make sure that this shit doesn't happen again. Yeah. But, dude, getting checked like that can be your salvation sometimes.
Dude, it is, man.
Right?
It is.
But we talked about the conscious and subconscious mind, right? So, like, let's not just talk about the lowest time in your life and, man, that was so eye-opening. Thanks, Manny, right? I can already hear these fucking comments. So let's talk about conscious and subconscious mind when we talked about training scared. Hey, maybe you're not at the lowest point in your life. Maybe you're successful enough. What are you practicing? Okay? Are you building a foundation? Are you building grit? Are you building a foundation that understands how to be successful when you're at your darkest? No.
And when no one's watching.
You're putting shit out there, and you're not putting any weight behind your words, and you're not putting any care behind it. And if for some reason you ever do come across adversity, you've never done 75 hard. You've never done 4:30 a.m. forever. You've never done certain things that you keep talking about, but then everybody expects you to perform when it is time for adversity because you look like a black belt motherfucker, but you're not.
Yeah.
But you're not. So now what? Now you're going to crumble because now not only do you not have the tools to overcome adversity, everyone's looking at you thinking you got the tools.
Yep.
So now you're super insecure, super fearful, and you're fucking lost. Yeah, you're going to eat your gun. Well, okay? Not good.
I think it becomes real easy to become lazy in the arenas that people aren't going to see you doing the right thing. If, whatever you're doing, if you're constantly putting out there like you're trying to, or not that you're trying to, but that you're doing it for the public accolades, when it comes down to do the things that need to be done when no one's looking, right? When it's waking up at 3 a.m. to change your kiddo's diaper, right? Or it's, doing the right thing for a customer and, putting your wallet on the line when it maybe doesn't necessarily have to. Are you still going to do the right thing when no one's looking? Are you putting in those reps of doing the right shit when no one's looking?
And I don't know where your gauge is at for that. So if you don't go through those and you don't grow as a man or as a person, I know we're talking more men today than women. It's no disrespect to women. I just can't speak. I can't speak to you from first person, right? But just things we've seen in the men community, like, how do you know, like, what decisions you're going to make when you haven't put yourself through any trial or tribulation?
Yeah.
How are you going to be as a father when you quit everything you said you were not, that you started, right? Like, how do you handle that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, look, I don't have to know everything. Like, I know, like, my kids are going to go through maybe some circumstances that I've never had to go through before. However, man, everything falls back fundamentally. If you're fundamentally sound in life, there's going to be some type of answer you have for them or some direction to point in their, for them. And again, like, my benefit of doubt is that a lot of people are doing this not even realizing that they're doing it, and like, I've politely made some jokes at some people, and so they get it, some of them, but why? You know what I mean? Like, if you're hearing it, like, why do you do, like, who are you trying to prove something to? And if you are, why is there so much weight about proving something to someone? Prior to, like, we talk about Sean Tosh a lot, right? I look up to him as far as, like, just who he is as a person, but he doesn't matter more than I matter to myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, now, if we're in combat, that's how that works. He's more important to me, man. Me protecting him and him protecting me, that's just how that works. There's just laws of combat and how we have to address it to be successful. But in regards to, like, me going through life and figuring out my own trials and tribulations and overcoming adversity, anytime I want to reach out to him, like, of course he's happy to help, but by no means would he want his opinion to be valued more than my own opinion of myself. And he would tell me, no, that's not healthy. I don't mind pointing you in the right direction and giving you some food for thought. But hey, man, if you can't exist unless I'm giving you an answer to something, or if you agree to everything that I say, are you sure? You know what I mean? Dude, and him and I have had some points where, like, we've disagreed, but it made us agree.
Yeah.
Like, it made me agree with, like, literally him having him having one view and me having another view. We dove into it, and it made me believe in my view even more. And it made him believe in his view even more, but it was super healthy. Right. And so I think that's important. Like, how much do you value your own thoughts? How much do you value self-respect?
Well, and to add on to that, and again, this is the cure to the whole damn thing. How much do you value the guy that you call brother? Is it enough to be the asshole and put him in check when you see him gaining weight or doing fucked up shit or starting to slip in places he shouldn't be slipping? Are you willing to take on that asshole role for a second if it's going to help your so-called brother out? Because I think a lot of you guys aren't. And if you aren't, maybe think twice about calling that guy your brother. But if us collectively as men, and men that are in our sphere and people that we support, it's our job, it's our obligation to say that shit. And I think the more we do that, then the more you're going to think twice about putting your stupid 75 hard thing out there that you really have no intention of completing beyond a week or two. At
Fuck
best.
that.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. Like, I'll say brother on, like, social media, something like,
bro.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Not the same. Let's not get stuck in the weeds.
Yep.
And my piece as far as, like, calling someone brother. Well, that's the bar. So what about my actual brothers? Right. So what about my Marine brothers? Yep. What about you?
Yep.
I'm just running around calling everybody that.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so what's, like, so what do I call you now? If everyone to me is just brother, what are you?
Right.
Oh, you're the same. Oh, we've gone through our own scuffles and door slams and business growth and still choosing each other in business, or me forcefully making you be here through headlock. I'm kidding. That's now the same?
Yeah.
Wow. I might as well just tell every girl she's my wifey and I love her too.
Right.
Right. Now, Kate's more like Manny. She's not Mexican, but she's Filipino. She'll just cut you. She's not going to talk to you like Sean Tosh would talk to you.
Yeah.
She'll just hook you up. But I mean, I'm being funny, but honestly, like, think about that. Like, brother, some of us have earned that. so how, like, you don't go any higher than that, correct? Like, and here's my other thing too, right? If someone is calling you that, do you respect that? Do you have any weight in the responsibility? If I get a call right now, no disrespect to the podcast, if I get a call from Manny right now, I might be like, he's probably just checking up on me. I'm gonna click ignore. And if he calls me again, this podcast stops.
You're picking that up.
And I answer. And if he says, hey, man, I need you to come to California.
Yep.
Cool, man, I'll be there tonight. If you're asking me that, look, you're an adult. You know what I got going on.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be asking me for that if it wasn't important. We probably have no time to talk about it on this phone. Cool, man. I need to just get on the phone with the airlines. And, hey, man, I'm going to see you tonight. Do I need an Uber or are you picking me up? That's my only question.
Yeah.
Uber.
Yeah.
Okay, like, dude, we're going to figure it out when I get there. And if you can throw me some text messages on the way, it'd be much appreciated. That's my responsibility as a brother, right? Like, hey, no disrespect to the podcast. It's ending. Have a good day.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go. Same thing for you. Hey, dude, I need you to stop. Like, okay, and then checking ourselves. Hey, Eli, what are you doing, man? That ain't good. And when you know someone's going to check you, dude, even I slip a little here and there, like between you and I. You don't even have to say it. You'll just like have some looks and I go, dude, I know. I know. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Like, I'm having too many cookies. I got to stop with the milk and cookies. You know what I mean? Like, okay, but when you get to that level of brotherhood, man, you don't even have to say shit because you already respect what those guys think so much. Just being around them sparks a thought in your head to keep you accountable. At some point, they don't even have to say it to you, man. You just know what they're going to think. And it organically puts a weight behind your actions because what they think does matter, but they've earned that and you've earned that. This is not caring about what society thinks. And, people don't like when I say fuck, so I don't say fuck on the podcast. Fuck that, right? That's not it. What I'm talking about is people that you consider your brother, right? Like, that's earned. You know who they are. They've earned it. You've earned it. That's a brotherhood. At some point, they don't even have to tell me what's going to, like, disappoint them. I already know it, which organically puts weight behind my actions.
Yep.
And I'm a lot more thoughtful and I'm a lot more assertive and direct with what I do choose to put out there. And then every once in a while you need to check. Manny's checked me one time in my life on like a serious note, like, hey bro, that wasn't cool. Every other time it's like when we were instructors together and someone wanted to pop off at the mouth and I was going to fuck him up, he might be like, hey, back up. Like, I'm talking like, hey dude, what happened? That ain't you. One time. And that's what I'm getting at. When you have a brotherhood, man, like, that's secret. And there's respect to it. There's responsibility you have to that group. But because you do, because you have earned it, dude, you think about your actions so much more.
When people are going to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Which is, dude, all the more reason why we need to hold each other accountable as men, right? And don't get offended, guys. If one of your homies goes into your DM and calls you out, don't defend. Don't get your panties all in a bunch. Like, hear them out, right?
Well, and here's the deal. If someone is saying something to you to the point where you get offended and your first recourse is to, like, have an excuse back, either you've got some insecurities or some growing up to do, or that person just doesn't matter enough. And if they don't matter enough, then don't listen to it. Like, but you need to seek that core guys that are going to keep you on point, man, and keep that moving, and
definitely
then
do.
As far as being offended, like, if you get offended, you're not going to wake up the next day with leprosy and die. Okay. Like, you're just offended.
You're going to be okay.
But you're going to live. You're going to be okay. Matter of fact, you're going to be so okay, you don't even have a temperature. Okay? Like, you can still go to the gym. You can still go eat the right food. Like, you can still go do what I called you out or what, or vice versa if you're calling me out. But that being offended, right? It's like, hey, like, just, if you value the people around you, value what they say before you get offended. Like, just go, hey, hold on a minute. Like, is there some ground here? And look into yourself as far as what you're projecting and try to understand where they're coming from before you attack them, and just realize, like, yeah, man, I'm a serial fucking quitter. I've been searching for more. I'm successful at what I do, but I want so much more and have no idea what that is. I guarantee you your water, your diet, and the gym ain't right. For some reason, the gym, whether it's CrossFit, hitting heavy ass weights, running an ultra marathon, whatever the fuck your gig is, physical fitness, okay?
Hard shit.
it's
Hard
like
shit.
it's like wizardry, man. Like
It's
you
a
get
great
in there.
equalizer, man.
Well, and it brews thoughts and it brews some things in yourself that just bring you to some conclusions. And there's no lying. Okay. Like if you hit 405 on a bench for 12, okay, and then 2 weeks later, whatever, you hit 405 for 12, 405 for 4 reps. The weight didn't get heavier, man. Right? Like you're just not putting the work in. And if you get more reps, you earned it.
Yep.
Because the weight is the weight, dude. 500 is 500 is 500, man.
Yep.
Right? And like that's what I love about physical fitness, whether when I was doing CrossFit back in the Marine Corps and we were doing things for time or doing things for reps, and then, the gym now with hitting some heavy weight and doing some good lifts, like there's no lying there. It is what it is, and you're going to either do it for time or for rep, or you're going to hit that weight or you're not.
Yeah.
And there's no lying, man. And you just gotta, and just the brutal honesty of that and the consistency of the honesty behind that. I know a lot of guys get that from jujitsu, right? Like,
It's feedback.
Yeah, man.
It's feedback. And
But
you can always.
it's keeping you in check, and it keeps you from just going off the rails too far, man.
Well, and what you can always do whenever you have that direct feedback, whether it's jiu-jitsu or weights or homies calling you out, you can look back on the night prior, the week prior, the 2 weeks prior, and you'll be able to see, I didn't hit that 405, but my diet was here. I went to 2 happy hours the past 2 nights, right? I didn't get to sleep. I didn't get this. It gives you that direct feedback as far as like the direct correlation of cause and effect between your decisions and then the results that those decisions got you.
And we say this all the time, right? And I know it's cliche, but like the people you surround yourself with is who you are, and whether that's 5 or 3, whatever, right? They usually say the 5 people you surround yourself with. I'm sure there's some like cool science about it in some marketing class, right? Like whatever. But the point is, like, if you want to achieve more, you got to be around people that are doing it better than you. So let's say your conclusion is like, man, you know what? That's a good point. I haven't been to the gym in a while. Maybe I should do that. You don't have to go to the gym every day with someone. Like I'm not really like you and I, as much as we're together, we don't train together, but maybe once every 6 months because we're fucking off and doing arms together, being cute, right? We don't. You do your thing, I do my thing, and I like being alone at the gym and pushing myself. I feel like I need to be there to push myself, but don't think I don't watch other guys pushing it on social media and it motivates me. So, you don't necessarily have to have a gym partner, and I don't like the habit of relying on others in business and personal life. The least amount of people you have to rely on, the better, right? Like especially when it's within your close circle of business or close personal life. So if I got to rely on a workout partner, that's hard, man. There's variables. I don't know about it.
Yeah.
And I like pushing myself. But dude, I see some friends of mine, I see other guys online training their asses off, and it motivates me. So when I talk about surrounding yourself with the right type of people, maybe you are slacking in fitness. Okay, so when we look at logistically, how do you start replacing people? Or, okay, maybe I should spend less time with these people and more time with something else. You're right. And if fitness is slacking, maybe you should spend more time with a friend that takes their fitness more serious, or go find a friend. So it's not just about surrounding yourself around successful people. It's about surrounding yourself around successful people within the pillars that you want to be successful in, right?
Definitely.
Like Eli and I don't work out together, but he's fit. And if I'm not shredding up like I say I am, and if I'm not doing certain things like I say I'm going to do, I'm going to fucking hear about it. Or he'll see it and he won't say it. He'll just look at me weird and I'll fucking feel it, man. But I don't have to go to the gym every day with you. And then you and I text each other back and forth because we're doing cardio every day together and through like integrity. And you're like, dude, I fucking hate cardio. I wouldn't be fucking doing this as it weren't for you. I was literally on the stupid bike when I got your text message. I'm like, me too, bitch. But it was my integrity. Like, look, bro, if I say I'm going to do it, and every time we go to the gym, we're going to do this much cardio. I don't need you there to make sure I do it. I'm going to fucking do it, period, right? That's my integrity. I know that's your integrity.
Because you know.
But, dude, we've earned, like, that brotherhood, too, man. Like, we have that bond with each other. If you did lack that, or and you're lagging that in business, we're probably not as close as we are. Like, there's values you have. There's values I have, and no matter how different we may be, there are certain fundamental values that you and I have that are spot on, that allow us to grow and respect it. And we catapult, because when you get around people with the same values that are good to their word, that put the right shit out, that don't need somebody watching you, they're good for it. Dude, That momentum is crazy.
It's super
and I
special,
suggest
man.
you get around it, man.
Yeah, it's super
Big
special.
time.
But that only comes from guys keeping each other accountable.
Yeah.
Not just putting shit out there for public accolades. And then, you know, if you see, like, here's the thing. We'll start wrapping it up here, too. Just think twice, guys, before, when you see your buddy doing some new challenge, or he's vegan now because he watched Game Changers, and, you know, or he's, you know, like, whatever the fuck, whatever bullshit they're putting out on social, think twice before commenting congratulations or good job or that's awesome. Think twice before doing that, and maybe just observe a little bit, right? Or maybe just comment noted, or comment observing, you know, put a little pressure on them, and then, or just shoot him a DM. Hey man, awesome, you're going down this new path. However, not time to celebrate yet. I'm watching.
Hey, and here's the deal. To be fair, don't, hey, oh, well, I just try things because I'm trying to figure me out. So I got to try a lot of things. You're right. I get it. Trying something for a week will tell you nothing, right? Like, give your fitness goal a year.
Yeah.
Give 75 hard. Listen, this is going to blow your, bro, I could have been an astronaut. I fucking promise you. Give 75 hard, 75 days.
Oh, holy shit.
Shut the fuck up,
Imagine
right?
that.
Like, holy shit, they already day mapped it out for you. Just follow and trace, right? But
Yeah.
if you're trying to figure yourself out, and like, hey, I got to get out of my head. I got to figure myself out. Maybe I'm vegan. Maybe I want a vagina. I don't know. You're right. Not even being funny, mate. Whatever you're going through, I get it. But some of these battles are better with yourself than trying to seek something outward to get gratitude. Because believe it or not, getting that gratitude is your poison. It's the worst. Like, getting that could be the worst thing ever, man. Just fucking earn it. But when you do, bro, some things that I've earned in life, no one knows about, man.
Yep.
And they're not gonna know about.
Those are the best, man.
And hey, then that's okay. Yep. And some of those are maybe shared with 2 or 3 people, because maybe, you know, not everyone is supposed to know. Whatever it may be, man. Like, hey, but that's okay, and it's gonna stay where it lies. But guess what? How I view myself, how I respect myself, how I have confidence to shoulder life and shoulder my family and whatever happens on myself, that I have confidence that I can carry that. It's from all of that adversity, and it's from following through, not from quitting.
Yeah.
So when people are giving you those accolades prior, man, like, they're making you about as hard as wet bread.
Yep.
Okay. And that ain't cool.
Yep.
No one likes wet bread, homie.
Well, dude, and it's just setting up bad habits, because when you are constantly seeking that public recognition or good job, it makes it really hard to do the right thing when maybe it's not the popular vote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like doing the thing that's not going to get you the good jobs. But
Like
it's the
having
right
this
thing to
podcast.
do.
I'm going to get some comments about this podcast. I got a comment from a friend because I made a post about this
Yeah.
prior to this podcast, and
Yeah.
he already threw a little like, oh, sorry I didn't throw my photo out there. And I go, yeah, I know, man. You only had 2 to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm already getting shade for it.
Yep.
All good,
but you're
dude.
okay with that because you're not
Listen,
the one
man.
seeking public recognition in the first place. You're okay doing that.
Dude, I'm built from something, and I'm
Yes.
built from dudes that are a lot harder than me.
Yep.
And when I'm on something and I observe something and I see it from my lens, you're going to hear it from my lens. And if you don't think this adheres to you, then I'm not talking about you.
Yep.
And if you do think that this adheres to you to the point where you got to throw me a little joke here and there, then it does apply to you, and maybe you should do some more thinking. Take yourself seriously. In addition to that, no wife, if you're already married and you plan on keeping her entertained, okay? Or girl in the future, if you're single, men out there, listen, man, nobody enjoys a quitter. Okay, and there's nothing worse than portraying that you are something and people have confidence in you, and then you're not that, and you can't shoulder adversity, and you can't get your family where they need to be. You can't just talk about it. This isn't laws of attraction where you're just putting shit out there and it's going to come to you. No, a fucking wall's going to come to you, and it's going to hit you, and I'm going to be on top of it.
I was going to say his name is Will.
Yeah, no, but I mean this in the kindest way, right? And most people that know me know that everything that I talk about, like the intent and where it comes from, is from a very caring point. However, look, man, not everything we talk about in life is sunshines and rainbows, man. Some things have to be deliberate. They have to be serious because, look, all joking aside and all Will's banter and sarcasm aside, this is serious because you are raising children, or you will be raising children, or you will be married, or people are going to be looking up to you. So are you smoke and mirrors? Like, or are you, like, are you built from something? And if you're not, that's okay too. So much with social media, and I guess this is my last point, they think they got to be so much further ahead than they are because of their age or because it's not cool to be new. Fuck that. I started an Instagram page when I started real estate. I was still studying. I wanted to document what I did and stay in my lane, but
Yep.
there's some pride to that to say, hey, look, I did it once. I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to show you how to do it. There's confidence behind that, but there was accountability for myself that when I did put it out there, oh, guess what? Yeah, I slept in a pantry.
Yep.
Yeah, I sold everything. And guess what? Now we're a top 1 producing company. Fuck you.
Yep.
It's done. Like, it's still going, right? Like, but I'm okay with that because, one, I wanted to be honest with what I put out. I wanted to show it could be done. Secondly, I have weight behind my words, man. If I'm going to put that out there, rest assured it's going to happen.
Yeah.
There is no other option.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess my conclusion is stop giving yourself an out. If you put something out there, or if you put something within yourself, a thought to yourself, and you commit to something, and you don't tell anyone, but you told yourself, or you do put it out there, hey, stop giving yourself an out. Unacceptable, right? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, guys.
Right on.
Start keeping each other accountable too.
100%.
Yeah.
Don't be all soft.
We'll see you guys later this week. Thanks for watching.
Right on.